You know, there's something beautiful about life after 65. The hustle and bustle of careers and raising families may have settled, and suddenly, you find yourself with more time to reflect, to reconnect, and to focus on what truly matters. But here's the thing, as the years go by, the people we surround ourselves with become more important than ever. Relationships aren't just about companionship anymore, they're about joy, support, and even our health. That's why today, I want to talk to you about the 4 relationships that matter most after 65. These connections can shape your happiness, your well-being, and even how you experience this chapter of your life. Whether you're someone who's always been social or someone who cherishes a smaller circle, these relationships are worth nurturing. So, let's start with the first one, the relationship with yourself. Now, that might sound a little strange at first. After all, how can you have a relationship with yourself? But think about it, how often do you pause and truly check in with how you're feeling, what you need, or what brings you peace? After 65, life isn't about proving anything to anyone else. It's about honoring who you are, embracing your wisdom, and giving yourself the kindness you've spent a lifetime offering others. Maybe that means finally picking up that hobby you never had time for, painting, gardening, or even learning to play an instrument. Or perhaps it's as simple as allowing yourself to rest without guilt, to say no when you need to, or to celebrate the small victories each day brings. When you nurture this relationship with yourself, everything else falls into place a little easier. And that brings us to the second relationship, your family. Family can mean different things to different people. For some, it's children and grandchildren. For others, it's siblings, cousins, or even close friends who've become family over the years. What matters isn't the label, but the love and connection you share. As we get older, these bonds can take on new depth. Maybe you're now the one your grandchildren come to for stories and wisdom. Maybe you're reconnecting with siblings, laughing over old memories, or even mending fences that needed repair. Family isn't always perfect, but those ties, the shared history, the unconditional love, can be a source of incredible strength. The key here is to stay present. It's easy to get caught up in the past or worry about the future, but the real magic happens when you're fully there, listening, laughing, and creating new memories together. Now, these first 2 relationships set the foundation, but there are 2 more that are just as vital. And the next one might surprise you. You know, one of the most beautiful things about getting older is the way friendships can deepen in ways we never expected. When we're younger, friendships are often built around shared circumstances, raising kids together, working the same job, or living in the same neighborhood. But after 65, friendships become less about convenience and more about choice. The people who stay in your life? They're there because they truly matter. That's why the third relationship we need to talk about is your friendships, the ones that have stood the test of time and the new ones that bring fresh joy into your days. Think about your closest friends. Maybe it's someone you've known for decades, the kind of friend who doesn't need an explanation when you call, they just know. Or maybe it's someone you met later in life who shares your love for gardening, books, or morning walks. These friendships aren't just nice to have, they're essential. Studies show that strong social connections can improve mental sharpness, boost happiness, and even help us live longer. But here's the thing, friendships don't maintain themselves. Life changes, people move, health issues arise, and sometimes we just drift apart without meaning to. That's why it's worth putting in a little effort. Pick up the phone and call that friend you've been meaning to catch up with. Invite someone over for coffee, even if it's just for an hour. Join a club or a group where you can meet people who share your interests. It's never too late to make a new friend, and sometimes those late-in-life connections turn out to be the most meaningful of all. Now, let's talk about the fourth relationship, one that often gets overlooked but can make all the difference in how we experience this stage of life, your relationship with your community. Community can mean different things: your neighborhood, your place of worship, a volunteer group, or even an online community where you share ideas and stories. What matters is feeling connected to something bigger than yourself. After 65, it's easy to start narrowing our world, especially if driving becomes harder or if we've lost touch with old routines. But staying engaged with a community gives us purpose, keeps us active, and reminds us that we still have so much to offer. Maybe it's as simple as chatting with neighbors during your morning walk, joining a book club at the local library, or volunteering for a cause you care about. Even small interactions, like greeting the cashier at the grocery store or waving to the mail carrier, can weave a sense of belonging into your days. And when you give back, whether it's through mentoring, sharing your skills, or just offering a listening ear, you're not just helping others, you're enriching your own life in ways you might not even realize. These relationships, with yourself, your family, your friends, and your community, they're like the pillars that hold up a beautiful, well-lived life. And the best part? It's never too late to strengthen them. Now, there's one more layer to all of this, something that ties these relationships together in a way that can truly transform your days. And that's what we'll explore next. You know, when we talk about these 4 relationships, with yourself, your family, your friends, and your community, there's a quiet thread that ties them all together. It's the simple but powerful act of showing up. Not just physically, but with your whole heart. Because after 65, time starts to feel different, doesn't it? The minutes slow down in the best way, giving us space to savor the conversations, the laughter, and even the quiet moments that might have rushed by unnoticed in earlier years. That's why the final piece of this puzzle isn't about adding another relationship to the list, it's about how you nurture the ones you already have. Let me explain. Think about the last time someone really listened to you, not just nodded along, but truly heard what you were saying. Felt good, didn't it? Now imagine giving that same gift to others. Whether it's your granddaughter telling you about her school play or an old friend sharing memories over tea, being fully present turns ordinary moments into something extraordinary. It's not about grand gestures, it's about the way you ask one more question, share a story of your own, or simply sit together in comfortable silence. These small acts build bonds that last. And here's something else to consider: gratitude. When we take a second to appreciate the people in our lives, whether it's the neighbor who always waves from their porch or the sibling who calls every Sunday, it shifts something inside us. Try this: at the end of each day, think of one person who made your day a little brighter, even in a small way. Then, if you can, let them know. A quick call, a note, or even a mental thank you can weave more warmth into your relationships than you might expect. Of course, not every relationship is effortless. Maybe there's a family member you disagree with or a friendship that's faded over time. That's okay. What matters is that you're intentional about the connections you do want to grow. And sometimes, that means forgiving others or even yourself for the moments that didn't go as planned. After all, these years are too precious to spend weighed down by old grudges. So as we wrap up, let's bring this full circle. After 65, the 4 relationships we've talked about, with yourself, your family, your friends, and your community, they're not just items on a checklist. They're the living, breathing heart of what makes life rich. And the beautiful thing? You get to decide how they look in your life. Maybe it's hosting Sunday dinners, writing letters to faraway friends, or finally joining that Tai Chi class where you'll meet kindred spirits. Whatever it is, let it be something that fills your cup, too. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Which of these relationships do you want to focus on this week? Is there someone you've been meaning to reconnect with, or a new way you'd like to get involved in your community? Your stories inspire all of us. And if this resonated with you, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more conversations like this one. Because life after 65? It's not about slowing down, it's about savoring the connections that make every day meaningful. Here's to your next chapter, and to living it surrounded by the people who matter most. Cheers, my friend.